to act like he doesn't know what this song is, even though he inserted it into the last episode. I don't believe that anybody in the world doesn't know what Wonderwall is.
Something you might have noticed, might not have. I find a couple songs by an artist that I really like, and I become really obsessed with that artist to where I will listen to like almost them exclusively, like their whole discography over like a 2 or 3 month period. And I'll listen to other music in between, but I'll focus on one band that I'm particularly enjoying at the time. And that's how I end up branching out and finding other things like so I've always had that affinity for, Frank Sinatra and that kind of music, hearing it growing up. And then that branches out to things like, Frankie Valli, for example, and then the Beach Boys, and then Dion, and the list will go on and on, and you keep listening to it and the related videos, you find new things. But yeah, I do get kind of attached to certain artists. So I do have like my top go-to people. Recently, it's been a little bit more varied because, for example, if I go on another Four Seasons binge, I might kill myself because I just can't listen to that all the time. As much as I love them, but I listen to them for too long, too consistently, and too much to where I don't think there's one song by that band that I have not heard. Like even their music when they were like the Four Lovers, or when they were Billy Dixon in the Topics, when Frankie Valli's name wasn't even Frankie Valli. Like I have heard it all. So I would say I'm a pretty big aficionado of that. And, I would say I am for Frank Sinatra, and I guess for like the Beach Boys, Barry Manilow, I'm getting up there. I've heard like all of them, and I kind of don't want to hear them all the time anymore. So I have moved on to perfecting my my punk rock listening experience, which I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. It started with I was thinking about Now That's What I Call Music. You remember these, obviously.
Oh God,
so in the late 90s or early 2000s, every year there was a new album of That's What I Call Music. They're probably on like 148 by now if they're still making them, which I think they are. And there was that, and then there was Now That's What I Call Christmas, and I'm sure you remember that one. Yeah. And there was one in particular. My cousin had it, and we were listening to 1985 by Bowling for Soup in like 2004 or something, And me and my cousin, we would sit with our skateboards in the suburbs, listening to Simple Plan and Sum 41. With our long emo hair, with our polos and our bootcut jeans. And it was just, we thought we were such hot shit. You have like the $100 knockoff Stratocaster that you don't even play, but it's still in the corner of the room with your $25 amp. Like it was just an aesthetic. And then you listen to it because you think it was cool. And the more I listen to it, the more I have that appreciation for it. So been kind of listening to that a lot lately. I've been listening to a lot of Seether as well. I like Seether quite a damn bit, and I never knew that I did until I watched the music video for Fake It, and I genuinely thought it was great. And then I went down that rabbit hole. Stop looking at me like that, okay? Yeah, it's fine. What if I do like the mainstream shit, okay? I gotta own it at this point.
I don't think there's any problem with liking mainstream stuff.
And then I have some other stuff that I enjoy. I remember when I was really lost in the sauce, my favorite band for like a year was Cigarettes After Sex, when I was all depressed and drunk all the time. And that's another band that I can't even really listen to anymore because it brings back way too many bad feelings and times. So again, music there's an emotional factor to it too.
I get a lot of that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't. There's some things that I can't listen to. You know what I mean? Like some movies that I don't like to watch because it triggers you 100%.
I can't listen to the band The Hush Sound or Paramore anymore without thinking about my ex-girlfriend. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, and then it's so funny how like emotions of like life and relationships, especially that get tied to this music. Because what do you do when you're upset? You know, you listen to music, of course, and I mean, there's a couple like romance oriented movies that I super enjoy that are touchy feely like that focus on relationships. But music has always been like the go-to for relationship woes, I guess.
Yeah. Well, also speaking biologically, the part of your brain that holds memories and the part of your brain that recognizes, music, the more auditory part of your brain, they're right next to each other, as well as the olfactory senses. So the smell. So smell, sound is directly related to your memories. So
all right, then I guess it's
science dropped on you. Yep. Which is why you can be walking around and smell something and go, I
takes you back to a time
14 years ago when I was playing Super Mario Party. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other bands you want to throw out there? I know it's hard to mention everything.
Yeah, it's really hard to go off the cuff, I guess, like that. I guess more or less it seems to be genres that I've been enjoying lately. I have to say Apple Music has been a godsend with listening to stuff that I enjoyed as a kid, but then finding more of that stuff and more band. Oh, here's another one that I didn't know that I just absolutely love is the Offspring. I think they're phenomenal. I love them. I absolutely love them. And like I said, when I watched them live like 2 years ago, and they're a little bit fatter, but nowhere near our friends in the Bowling for Soup arena as we talked about. But I've really been enjoying the Offspring, and like I like so much of their stuff to the point where Pretty Fly for a White Guy is just an insult as to their namesake of a song that everybody knows. You know what I mean? I hate that that's the one everybody knows because there's so many good ones in there, man. Who else I want to think of? I don't know. I think I kind of mentioned who I've been listening to recently, but again, Apple Music has been awesome for that because you put on one artist, it'll play a couple of their songs, and then you get a curveball and you get a different band that you never knew that you like. That's how I found out about the Offspring recently while listening to Bowling for Soup, and then Seether popped up in there at some point too. So there's like this nice little variety, and it's music that I always remember seeing growing up, but I just never listened to. So again, it's my nostalgia thing kicking in. So I don't know how much of this is rooted in personal enjoyment or me just thinking like, oh, I want to go back to that time period of my life. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I will oh God, it's so hard. As you've been talking, I've been scrolling through my playlist that I listen to as I walk. And I mean, all of this is going to be as long as yours, but some of the stuff that I'm really into, of course, I have to mention Oasis. Oasis is my ultimate favorite band of all time. And it's like Oasis and Marcy Playground, and they are constantly doing this in my mind. And obviously Liam Gallagher, I saw him a few years ago in Toronto. Yes, I drove to Toronto.
Wow.
Only for that. He won't come to Michigan. I don't know why. Noel, his brother, comes to Michigan, but he doesn't. You got your White Stripes, your Avril Lavigne, Sex Pistols, Weezer.
Oh, I forgot to mention Weezer. I love Weezer. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear you say that. See, that's what I was thinking. That's why I kind of jumped in there. Because I figured
so
I would
funny. When on the way to work,
something.
I was jamming out to Hash Pipe the other day.
Yep.
Man,
my favorite Weezer song is
Buddy Holly.
Dope Nose.
Dope Nose. Okay.
That's my favorite Weezer song. No, Buddy Holly. I'm not this is probably like sacrilegious. I'm not a huge fan of Buddy Holly.
The song or Buddy Holly, the singer, musician?
Both.
But wow, that's interesting. I love Buddy Holly both.
Here's a curveball for you. I don't know if you would expect this. I wouldn't say hardcore, but I'm a pretty big Eminem fan.
Me too. Eminem. We've never talked about this. Whoa, that's crazy. Getting Encore and Curtain Call were like my two favorite albums back in the day. Eminem being the Detroit connection that we have, I think that's why a lot of people around this area like Eminem, not only for the fact that he's a good artist, but we do have that home connection. Eminem in the late 90s and early 2000s was huge. He was such a premier rapper, and his songs were entertaining. They were fun to listen to. They were completely off the wall. They're very catchy, and you can hear that progression of him as a kid starting out to becoming like a more professional rapper, and then you can hear what's going on in his life through his music. I think he's phenomenal. And like I said, a lot of his music is just really fun to listen to, and I love the crew that he has. D12 was they were almost like characters. They all had cool personalities. The music videos were so good. One Shot, Two Shot has to be one of the funniest songs about a shooting ever. It's great. It is funny. Yes, I love Eminem. I can't believe we never talked about this. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's because rap is not like one of my favorite genres per se, so maybe I kind of forget about that a little bit. And again, it's where I'll pick the artist over the genre, so.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, mine either. So it's not one of the ones that comes up very often, but I see it. It sticks out like a sore thumb in my music because it is the only rap that's in there.
Totally.
But there's a band called Weezer
that
I have really been into.
Okay.
Which, if somebody doesn't know who they are, they had the song Teenage Dirtbag, which was
they are so
massive.
Good live. If you listen to him, he still sounds just like he did. Because I was listening to Teenage Dirtbag, like the acoustic live one recently, in like a real small venue. There was maybe like 30 people there. It was real intimate, and it was I gained this appreciation. Again, Weezer has been coming up in my playlist for what I listen to, and I've been again gaining appreciation for them recently based off their live performances. So cool. I'm glad that you're mentioning a lot of things that I keep forgetting to say. This is fun.
They're awesome, and a lot of their other songs are much better than Teenage Dirtbag. And what's funny is my favorite song of theirs is Punk Ass Bitch. And it's what I reference every single time you call yourself a punk ass edgelord or whatever. So if you notice, I'll say punk ass bitch every time you say that.
My Mac is about to fall asleep. Hold on, I gotta plug it in.
Lovely. But obviously there's Queen, because Freddie Mercury, the ghost of Freddie Mercury, came in and interrupted my conversation about Eminem. And they're Elton John,
I love
Cat Stevens, too. The Zombies, David Bowie, Ghost. I recently got into Ghost.
Okay.
And which, if you don't know any songs by them, you certainly know what they look like. Which is like Papa Emeritus or Papa Emeritus. I think it's Emeritus. He has like the makeup on his face. You know, it's a Swedish band, and he has like skull makeup on his face and like dressed like a pope. So that's fun. I have to mention a band called Creature Feature, and they are like really, really unknown, I would say, but they have great music and they're super nice guys. Obviously Rob Zombie, Paramore that I mentioned, you know, The Doors. I have to mention Michael Jackson as well. I almost mentioned wore a Michael Jackson shirt. I'm a huge fan, and I don't want to hear anybody's opinions on that. So Blur. I love Blur. That's huge. This is basically just the speed round at this point. I'm just checking out things that Tom Petty. Who doesn't love some Tom Petty? Actually, at work the other day, I was singing I Won't Back Down, and Lexi was like, "What is that?" And then she's like, "Oh, give me a second." And she starts typing away on her phone, and she's like, "Okay, save to my music list, my Spotify list." And I was like, "You won't regret it." Yeah, so Alice Cooper, Green Day. How can you not, right? And of course, I don't know. I'm seeing if anything else jumps out at me. I like Pink. You know, it's sort of like in the same.
It makes me feel less bad for having Pink as a child. You know, I had like hit clips of some of those songs of Pink and Sugar Ray and Smash Mouth, what have you. Smash Mouth, by the way, I had before Shrek. Okay. And of course, it got tainted with All Star of whatever. But there's an album that my cousin gave me, and he laughed at me when I asked him if I could have it. But it was Smash Mouth Astro Lounge. And there are so many good songs on there. Like Waste is so good. Roadman is awesome. It's about them on their way to a show. And then the guy that's driving them is just so frantic trying to get them there. They get into an accident on the way there, but the show has to. It's a really good 90s album, you know? And I hate that everyone hates Smash Mouth. Sorry, I have to say it, guys. Shrek is awesome, but it just ruined it. Same with the little kids in band class that I have to mention that would always sing Bohemian Rhapsody and just scream Scattermoosh at the top of their lungs. And I'm like, I was a senior at the time and I wanted to punch them all in the head. Going on. I have strong feelings here and there.
I'm almost finished, but Nirvana, Fountains of Wayne.
I love Fountains of Wayne too.
I will take Fountains of Wayne to my grave with me. It's not good enough that I mentioned the White Stripes. I have to mention the Raconteurs, which is Jack White's other band. I do have 4 Seasons in here because of this guy.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites.
Little bit of Owl City. A little bit.
I didn't see that, but interesting.
Gorillaz.
Oh man, there we go. That's taking me back too. I love their music videos. I love their performances because of that art that they have. It's a whole show when they have a concert. It's really cool.
Yes, and it's Damon Albarn, both Blur and Gorillaz, same guy. AWOL Nation. Not everybody knows who they are. They had some really popular songs like Kill Your Heroes and Sail, as well as a song called Run, which is featured in every single internet prank video where people are scaring each other. It'll be like, run. Run.
Copyright strike.
Yeah, watch it happen. It's like your video has been claimed by Sony Music or whatever. 9 Inch Nails. And
yeah, I can get down with some 9 Inch Nails here and there, you know, and then some. I like Slipknot too. I like a little bit of Disturbed. I like Korn. You know, if we're gonna talk about like some of the rock,
whatever
that I had
you want
in my
to
life.
talk about.
Yeah, I mean, like I like my punk rock stuff too, but then like I like my angsty heavy metal too at times. I do like classic rock a lot too. But the type of rock that I can't really vibe with is screamo. I never could. That's not my cup of tea.
Nope. Me neither.
I want to be able to
Rob
understand
Zombie?
it. Yes,
I know we mentioned him before. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I
mean, Dragula was like the 90s premier heavy metal song. That was the one you couldn't get away from. And it's a good song that I get away from too. I love it. It's so good.
I first came across that song in The Matrix.
And really? Mine was in Bride of Chucky.
Okay. I saw Bride of Chucky, even though Bride of Chucky came out a year before The Matrix. I saw The Matrix first before Bride of Chucky. So, but yes, it was popular. Just like Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
Even though I know it's not actually by him, it's the Eurythmics, but that version of the song is played still to this day in every single horror movie, whether you know it or not.
In some capacity.
It's so ridiculous. I'm so sick of that song, but that song is great for the gateway drug, because that is the first song people usually gravitate towards. And then you're like, I like this. I remember having conversations with people way back in the day when I would show up in, middle school and high school wearing Marilyn Manson shirts.
God, it was just met with so many questions and stares.
I loved it.
I
loved it. It was like one of my favorite activities was defending Marilyn Manson. And I also had this one shirt that was probably made by some guy in his basement. I got it off eBay, but it was the Jesus fish.
Yeah.
And it said Manson in the middle of it.
That's
and
awesome.
So that pissed people off. And I loved that. I wouldn't say I was ever like an edgelord, but I loved getting under people's skin, especially if they were highly
it was fun to irritate people. Yeah.
So there would be so many questions I would get and whatnot. And people would be like, I don't like him at all. I like Sweet Dreams though.
Yeah. And then when you ask him why, always it's always met with he got his ribs removed. Oh, he does X, Y, and Z. Oh, it's all the rumor mill stuff. I mean, obviously now things are different, but we're talking about 2005 people. Yep. So 2005, what was I in middle school by that point? Yeah. So prior to 2005, even I had Marilyn Manson CDs in my Walkman, like we talked about before, that I just remember listening to in Latchkey and just sitting there, just jamming out to some Manson as like a little 10-year-old. And I remember getting in trouble for having a Marilyn Manson CD in a Catholic school. Like that is blasphemous. Okay. And they don't take that shit lightly. And I remember like the principal called my mom and they were like, you can't have your son listening to this influence. And I remember my mom just took the CD and broke it in her bare hands. And she was so pissed at me.
That takes some effort. They bend a lot before they break.
Yeah. True story, man. So, and then guess what? I love Marilyn Manson even more after that. And then that transitions to thinking you're cool and wearing the band tees and smoking cigarettes behind the old barn, which is what we frequently did. You'd skip out on gym class, go listen to some,
meaning this guy, not me.
You go listen to some Marilyn Manson on your iPod, during gym class or something. I was a shithead. But I still got good grades though. I was always in honors and AP classes, but I always liked to get down. I always liked to, I kind of thrived off being like nerdy yet like able to have fun. You know what I mean? I always thought that was a really cool balance to have, but here we are today. Where did that get me?
That was me as well. I was always the person that was always right in the middle, not super nerdy, definitely not popular either.
Yeah.
Occasionally the target of popular people, but rarely.
Yeah.
So I was always, I was right there. And it was because I don't know, I mostly just didn't care.
Yeah, I kind of, after a while, especially in high school, just kind of went with my own thing. And I was fortunate enough to go to a high school that was not very cliquey. Like everybody kind of knew each other and talked. It was because we all went to elementary, middle school. Oh no, our graduating class was like 428 people, I think. But everyone was just really cool.
Hers was like 700.
Okay, also definitely almost twice the size in some way. But yeah. So continuing on from music, I think the last thing we're gonna have to talk about, is I'm gonna have to get ready soon here, is a notable concerts that we've been to. And I think your list might be longer than mine. I don't know your concert history because I haven't necessarily gone to a whole lot of them. I could probably count them all on one hand, really, surprisingly. I could just never find people who want to go see what I want to go see. Like Simple Plan was at the Fillmore last month and nobody was going to go with me. So I didn't even really want to just go. Exactly. So you weren't going to go. Nobody else wanted to go. And I don't want to have to buy 2 tickets and bribe somebody to be like, oh, you can come for free, just hang out. You know what I mean? So
that's what you have to do if you want somebody to go with you to anything, even if it's something they like.
Yeah. So notable ones I've seen every year, the Beach Boys are always at Freedom Hill. So like I'll go see them, but I actually have stopped seeing them because it's the same performance, the same canned jokes, and they sound phenomenal. You know, it's just, as we've talked about at work, it's just Mike Love and Bruce Johnson that are there. But like a lot of their like their sons and nephews and what have you perform. So there's so blood of the Beach Boys in some aspects. And I have to say they do really, really, really good covers. And it always is a fun thing to go to because everyone has the lays on and the beach balls are getting tossed around. And always in the second half, you go buy the cheap lawn seats, and after intermission, they let you go sit wherever you want. And it's always fun. You know, it's older people, but you know, I can get down with the older crowd. We can relate to them, as we've mentioned on numerous occasions. And it was the same thing when I saw Frankie Valli. I paid a lot of money to get, you know, pretty close seats, but we've talked about how that's just a lip sync fest. And it was so cool to see Frankie Valli, the guy, but there's some disingenuous feeling with lip syncing. But, you know, I'm so fortunate that I got to see him before he died, because of course I just have this obsession with him. No, he's not dead yet. I'm saying, like, I'm glad I got to see him. No, he's still alive.
What did I miss?
No, him and Bob Gaudio are still alive, but Nick Massey in last year, or maybe it was this year, I don't remember, but Tommy DeVito died recently. So it's just Frank and Bob still going off their handshake agreement. So I mean, I know Jersey Boys is good too. I've seen that play numerous times. Oh God, I love it. The play is phenomenal. Who else have I seen? I saw a lot of my favorite bands when I went to Warped Tour like 10 years ago. Other than that, I mean, I really haven't been to a whole hell of a lot.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I really wish I had something different. I wish I could say that I have all these band tees from their tours and I have stories, but I'm not that cool, guys. You know, I'm just kind of So it's not too long. I might be missing something, but obviously it's not too notable if I'm forgetting it. So
yeah, maybe I have a bad feeling in my stomach that I'm gonna end up forgetting something, but
we'll bring
it is fine because it's just notable ones, right? So it's funny. I was gonna say this earlier, but I held, you know, I had some self-control in me when you mentioned Barry Manilow, because as you know, my very first concert ever was Barry Manilow, and it was funny. Against my will.
Exactly, because Brandon, when we were talking about, I think when I started to talk about the Four Seasons in, because everybody knows Oh What a Night, everybody knows Sherry, and it's like, you know, like 5 of their songs, but you don't know the band, right? So when you find out that it's this group with this cool story behind it, I mean, it makes to me anyway, makes the music more impactful. And something that Four Seasons were earlier than that, but Barry Manilow is like your lesbian aunt listens to Barry Manilow on 60s on 6 on Sirius XM. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe you get from it. So Brandon's statement to me is only women and gay men like Barry Manilow or something like that. and then he goes on to say that he went with his dad, and I said, what is your dad, a gay man? Like, by your own admission? And when he told me that he saw Barry Manilow, I was very jealous, because Barry Manilow, I was seriously jealous. Barry Manilow plays the piano on top of singing, so that's a whole other aspect of his performance. And let me see right here. I actually have some vinyls.
Oh God.
I only have a few. I don't have too many. Here's a Beach Boys one, and it's just some of their greatest hits. On like a beach ball.
Of course.
Here's some Jack Jones. You know who that is? Probably not. I got it at a thrift store only because I like the song "Call Me Irresponsible." Frank Sinatra popularized that one of the people too. And the 50s and 60s are every band covered each other constantly. That's a thing. I'm sure you know that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So I ended up picking up.
Yeah, just like Elvis, his famous songs are mostly covers.
Well, here's I remember listening to Al Martino, again, more Italian American stuff. It was at the thrift store. I just bought it just because. And I think this is the last one, but this is what made me think of it.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh God.
I have to say, and it has all the good ones, man. Like Mandy, Daybreak, New York City Rhythm, Can't Smile Without You. Daybreak, you fucker. Do you remember the scene in Family Guy when they're talking about the Barry Manilow concert? Do you know what I'm talking about? And he goes,
yeah,
Barry Manilow. Or because I have a good Patrick Warburton impression. Barry Manilow. Who's going to listen to Barry Manilow? Well, I guess Mandy's good. Daybreak's okay too. Yeah, and they're like, oh my God, I love Barry Manilow. I got every song he's ever made in my car. And then they go and he's singing Mandy, and then they pick Quagmire. In the night goes on without Quagmire. It's so funny. Anyway, let's go on. Barry Manilow. Love Barry Manilow.
Yeah, I don't remember my first concert I went to that I actually wanted to attend, but God, I don't know. It's all so smushed together, but some big ones for me where it was Ringo Starr. That was awesome.
Well, I'm glad you say it's awesome, but just not, give him shit because it's cool to give Ringo Starr shit. So I applaud you.
I don't give him shit. That was the closest I'll ever be to any Beatle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Paul McCartney is constantly retiring, and he rarely comes here. When he does, it costs literally an arm and a leg. Literally. So
a golden arm and a golden leg.
Exactly. So that was the closest that I'd ever come. And, I've seen Alice Cooper 3 times.
Cool. That's awesome.
He's awesome. He used to perform at the state fair, the Michigan State Fair. So it became like a,
like an annual thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Like an annual thing, my group of friends and I would go and hang out all day at the state fair and have fun, and then the night would end with the concert, and that was always so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then the state fair closed down, unfortunately. But yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of that, and Alice Cooper is connected to that. And again, the Raconteurs, which was Jack White's other band. When I saw them towards the end of the concert, he came out and was like, I'd like you all to introduce Meg White to the stage. And Meg White walks out with drumsticks, and she gets behind the drum kit, and she's about to start playing, and everybody is losing their minds because they're gonna do an encore doing White Stripe songs. Are you kidding me? And he turns around and goes, nah, I'm just kidding, Meg, get out of here. And she gets up and she walks off stage, and I'm like, dude, why did you even have her come down?
What a definition of a tease.
It was the biggest slap to the face of the entire audience.
Oh my God.
And why do that to her too? Unless
why do that to us?
Like maybe she was like, I'll come, but I don't want to play.
Dude, the White Stripes were huge. What a cock tease. That's terrible.
I was losing my mind because I could have been like, I saw the White Stripes in concert, which technically I did because they were both on stage. But no, yeah, that was awful. Marilyn Manson. I saw Marilyn Manson
at
TTE. I still have some confetti that was shot out of cannons at his show. And Kiss. I saw Kiss at DTE. Now Queen with Adam Lambert. What else? I feel like there's so much that.
Have you seen that movie?
I'm forgetting.
That Kiss movie called Detroit Rock City?
No.
Have you heard of it? I have it on DVD if you'd like to borrow it. Yes. It's so funny.
I think it has Marilyn Manson's Highway to Hell on it.
It probably does. But it's you know the story of it? It's just these 4 punky ass kids, and they win Kiss tickets on the radio, and they take the mom's Volvo, and it's just a story of them going to Detroit trying to see Kiss, and they just get into so many shenanigans. And I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just going to say my absolute favorite scene from the movie is, so one of the main characters has an overly Catholic mom who's a chain smoker who just hates Kiss. And it's so funny. Anyway, she puts on at like a Catholic boarding school to like rid him of the devil for listening to Kiss. So the kids send a pizza with psychedelic mushrooms on it to the priest, and he eats it and he starts hallucinating, and then they break the kid out of the thing, and then the nuns just getting drunk on the holy wine. It's a real funny movie. If you don't take it seriously, like you don't take Kiss seriously, because you shouldn't. All right, they have Kiss coffins. Okay, it's a very good movie. It's very good. I had to mention that when you mentioned Kiss.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I will make note of that. So yeah, I mean, the big ones obviously are Noel Gallagher. I've seen Noel Gallagher 4 times. I try to see him every time he comes to Michigan. He used to come to Royal Oak, so that made it much easier to meet him prior to the show or after the show, but now he's changed to Meadowbrook, which makes it impossible, since it's like middle. It's like mini DTE, just a completely different setup. So that made it like impossible. And the opener for him was Ryan Adams. I think that's his name, not Bryan Adams, not to be confused, but Ryan Adams. I think that's his name. He did a cover of Wonderwall, so I don't know. Noel Gallagher liked that, I guess. And then Liam Gallagher once, which was a fun trip to Toronto. And yeah, I'm sure there's ones I'm forgetting. I guarantee it, in fact, but you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, so what I want to say though, in conclusion, is I have to ask you something, because I know you have to leave quickly here, but I found out that I experienced something that not everybody does when it comes to music, and I am curious if you do as well. If I hear a song that really moves me, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Could be literally a song off the musical score of Halloween Kills coming up. Anything can move me. It just depends on my mood. Do you get chills? Do you get actual chills?
Yeah, you get the goosebumps.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Halloween and the fact that it was, when it was shown to the distributors or whatever without the soundtrack or the score rather, when I thought about, when you mentioned the name of the song, The Shape Chases, or The Shape Stalks Lori, whatever, that song, just, I thought of the scene both ways, and then I got goosebumps the second time with the music. Same with the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets featurette that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, you know, and then you hear a certain tune or a thing, and it just takes you back to a time. Like when I mentioned Cigarettes After Sex, like that was such a horrible time that's like spine tingly goosebump. Like I don't even want to think about it. You know what I mean? So everything has that association. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I could listen to that band anymore.
Okay. Yeah,
totally.
I had to find out, because I do. I will get watery eyes, and I will get chills. And it's not like I'm crying, but it's just a weird kind of thing that comes along with the chills. Just like,
as stupid as it sounds, that happens to me a lot, but more or less with like movies, I would say. And I have seen Toy Story 3 so many times. It makes me cry every single. I my lip will quiver slightly. I will water because it just takes me back to my childhood. Like, I could cry right now thinking about it. Like, I was Andy. You know what I mean? I have the dolls up here, and it's like that movie came out when I was getting ready to go to college too, and it's just the association is Toy Story 4 sucks. I really don't like that movie.
That's funny.
The third one is so good. I could,
my feelings about the third one. I don't want to rain on your parade though. So yeah, I get that. And just with the Halloween Kills trailer that came out a couple months ago, I got chills and my eyes watered.
I know, I'm so misty-eyed. I'm trying to hide it. Like, I hope I hit it well, but
it's so weird to say. But the reason I bring this up, there's a specific reason. This isn't a weird tangent. I was online a few years ago, and it might have been like Quora. And I got like, a message to my email that somebody asked a question. And it was something along the lines of, when you guys say that you get chills at music, that's just an expression, right? And people were like, no, like, you legitimately
get an emotional, physical response.
Yes. And I found out for the first time in my life, only a couple years ago, that not everybody has that response.
That's weird
to anything.
That's sad, actually. I feel bad for you.
I agree. And they thought that chills was just an expression, like, you're like that you really liked it, or that you were moved by it.
I get what you're saying.
And it's like, no, you actually get it. Like, it becomes uncontrollable. And so I just, that was it. But I wanted to bring that up because music does that to me a lot. Depending, especially, and I don't know what will move me always either. I'll be just walking down the street, and sometimes, I'm listening to my playlist, and Carly Rae Jepsen's "Call Me Maybe" comes on, and you know what? I get chills, and I don't know why, but I do. So,
interesting.
Yeah, I have really strong emotional connection to that song, though. Not so much the song itself, but just the period of time that song came out.
100%. Yeah, I get it.
It was everything has changed since then. I've gone from being a carefree youngin to being an old bitter man. So
that happens.
It takes me back.
That's why I cry when I think about the Sorcerer's Stone specifically, and Toy Story and all that, because that was just such a good time.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
but again, it's movies for me, and honestly, it's embarrassing too, because I could be at work and think about it, and then like tear up slightly, and then just like try to like blink real quick, and then go back to what have you. Like, I'm finally, I own it, and I'm unashamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. It is what it is. When I think about Harry looking in the mirror of Erised at his parents for like the first time, that's sad. That is messed up, and it's sad. And then, I can't talk about it. But Toy Story has to be the biggest one. When I saw that movie, I saw it at the Michigan premiere screening. I got to write like an article for it for the school newspaper, so I had like this press pass. I saw it a week early. I got to take my friend with me.
That's cool.
It was really, really cool. I still have the article around here somewhere. I cried in the movie theater in front of my teacher, in front of my friends. I didn't care. When he gave those toys away at the end, oh my God, it's sad. It's terrible. Move on. We got to talk about the ending of this. But yeah, I get the emotional response. Very hardcore.
For sure. Well, that was Basically my closing thoughts.
Yeah.
I just had to say, quick, your favorite band of all time.
Oh,
quick. Come on.
God.
Don't think about it. Just bam.
Fine. Frankie Valli. You know I love him.
Yeah, that's fine. I just needed a quick response from you. Obviously, mine's Oasis.
Maybe it's the Rat Pack. I don't know.
Those were just about
instrumental, and it's just it's a very racist decision of me, just because of that Italian American association. But I was just so exposed to that growing up. I don't know.
Sure. Favorite song by Frankie Valli?
Oh, damn. That's a real hard one.
Favorite two.
My favorite two. I really like Walk Like a Man.
Okay.
I like the idea of it. I like the song.
I will say, in the movie,
yeah,
when they start singing Walk Like a Man, I did get chilled up a little bit at that scene.
I actually just kind of got goosebumps thinking about that. That's a good movie, because at least they do everything live and they sound good enough. Damn, I really like their version of Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. Okay. Every group at that time did Breaking Up is hard to do. I don't know. I didn't want to pick one that was too mainstream of them, but I also really like Beggin'. I think Beggin' is phenomenal. That one's really good. I like Cry for Me. I think that's a pretty good one. Tell It to the Rain is nice. Silence is Golden actually might be one of their best too. That's another cover song from the Tremolos. Anything that really showcases their harmony, which is almost every single song, is really, really, really good. And if we're going to talk about that era, I do have to mention the Beach Boys, and I have to say Pet Sounds is the best album that they've ever made. And God only knows. Oh, it's so good.
A lot of people agree with you on that.
It's really good.
Well, I am going to end this off. Again, my favorite band is Oasis. And again, if anybody is interested and they haven't heard of any of the songs that Lucas said or that I'm about to say, look into it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. I gotta say, as for Oasis, the importance of being idle. Side note, not Wonderwall. If anybody's expecting me to say Wonderwall, or Don't Look Back in Anger or Champagne Supernova, I'm sorry, this is not the place for you. But the importance of being idle, live forever, whatever, married with children, and I guess that's pretty solid. And I have a particular affinity for Do You Know What I Mean? But I love all their music. I'm sure, just like you, I mean, I have all their songs on my phone and I listen to them all the time. And there's pretty much nothing I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the song Shaker Maker, only because that was a ripoff of the Coca-Cola song. I want to buy the world a Coke and keep it company, that whole kind of thing.
Back when jingles were cool.
Yeah, exactly. So it was their Shaker Maker is just a rip off of that song, and they admit to it. And so because of that, I'm not a big fan of it. But I don't know. I mean, I could go on forever, and obviously that we cannot do
because we will.
This sir here has to go to work,
sadly.
But I don't know if there was one. I have to say, oh God, don't ever look at a list of your favorite of songs that your favorite band has done, because it just Talk Tonight. That I have to stop myself.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hello. Shut up, Brandon. What can I say? Stand By Me. Not the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Ben E. King version, of course.
Exactly. So, and God, just everything, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything. So I'm cutting myself off. Also, I do have to say as well, in conclusion, they have a song called Fucking in the Bushes. That's not a good song either. It reminds me of Revolution Number 9 by the Beatles, which is just number 9, number 9, number 9. Mm-hmm. Anybody says that's a good song, I'm sorry, I lost respect for you. And Fucking in the Bushes is just kids running around fucking in the bushes. It's just that. And if you think that's good, I also lost respect for you.
Okay.
But in conclusion, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I don't even. Am I going to listen to podcasts or music on the way to work? It was like 7 a.m. this morning, and I was texting Brandon, and I was just jamming out for hours. So I think I might have to go to a podcast and chill out, go sit in that traffic jam of construction. But I think this was an interesting topic. It made me think a little bit, and it also made me realize that even though I enjoy surface level music, it seems I have my few that I dive deep with. But again, it's what I enjoy, and again, maybe that's why it has a mass appeal the way it does. That pop punk I listen to, or that like 60s pop rock, it appeals to everybody for a reason, and it sounds good. Yeah, I get it. It might, whatever, it's fine. But then I have my ones that I dive deep into and enjoy. So, it also did re-solidify that movies and tech are my favorite obsessions. And I do enjoy music for what it's worth, but I would never claim to be an aficionado of it. And I'm not. I can play it. I can read it. I understand it. I know a lot about it, but maybe not as much as you do, or like my brother, for example, or my dad. They know more.
I'm no John Cusack from High Fidelity.
What did you
exactly say? Now, that's all that needs to be said. Be yourself, everybody. That's the important thing. Don't explain. Don't feel the need to explain what you like.
Yeah, if somebody thinks you're funny for listening to Frank Sinatra in 9th grade, they can go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
Because they don't know good music.
And don't change yourself for other
people.
And
just because we said that we didn't like Screamo, and if you do, enjoy that shit. Scream your little heart out. I don't care.
Whatever you like. Don't listen to us.
If it's too loud, you're too old is not true. I can just be annoyed. And if you're driving down the street and your car is literally rattling and I can hear your trunk lid shaking, you are not cool. You're going deaf.
I don't know how you even hear it.
Enjoy anything.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You're taking away so much sounds of the road that you are distractedly driving. You're an idiot. I have no respect for you.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
But I guess I kind of said what needed to be said until I text you later and completely forget about this whole amazing musical event that changed my life that I forgot about.
I'm expecting within the next couple of days you'll be like, now Brandon, this is weird. I don't think we've ever talked about this. It just came to me. But what is your favorite band? And I'm gonna say
it's like you just rip open your uniform shirt and you're wearing that.
Or the Oasis shirt. I was gonna wear the Oasis shirt, but I was like, I've already worn it on this show. So so yes, Liam Gallagher. Look at that sexy son of a bitch with his unibrow.
Oh, and I guess we do have to mention that I didn't even really mention Panic at the Disco once. I just liked them in middle school and had a t-shirt.
Yep.
And I don't have too many band shirts, and I've already worn the Marilyn Manson one and whatever. It's fine. I was recently going to get a Bowling for Soup one, the one that was like 20 years. That's a lot of beers. But I didn't get it.
Indeed.
I liked it though. 20 years, that's a lot of beers. You know, I mean, that band is, I mean, I know bands that like to drink, but Bowling for Soup is just the quintessential alcoholism band, apparently, for some reason that I've noticed. They have this one song that I really enjoy. And when I was on that brief drinking stint with Lexi and whoever all else from work at that time, there was this song that they made. It's called Right About Now, and the whole theme of the song is like everyone's out getting fucked up, but I'm at work right now, and it's just like a nice little song. Or My Girlfriend's an Alcoholic, that's another good song, and how he hates her when she sobers up, but when she's drunk she's awesome. And it's just like, you can tell these guys they don't do drugs, they just drink. It's a horrible band. But it's my guilty pleasure band. Yeah. And in fact, like, the last 3 months I've listened to like every single song that they've made, and I have this affinity for them too. I just love them, and there's nothing even particularly great about them other than the fact that I just like them at a certain time. But
that's all that matters.
And they're just goofy, they're fat, they're weird. It's just the definition of that time period for me. It's hilarious.
And when I was in a
band, be like Jarrett Reddick, but not that fat.
In a band, we covered Paparazzi by Lady Gaga, who I didn't mention her, but her, Kesha, they're good. Trust me. Paparazzi by Lady Gaga, Every Time by Britney Spears, Marcy Playground, Oasis songs, you name it, but no shame here.
Yeah, don't have any shame with it, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. And on that note, why are you still here? These are my Thanksgiving pumpkins.
Yeah, I was going to say we could repurpose them for, multiple seasons.
These are my Thanksgiving lights.
Ahead of time, keeping our schedule consistent. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As per usual.
Yes, thank you.
Is a very interesting. Yeah, thanks, James. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Tell us your favorite bands, your favorite songs. Did we talk about them? Did we not talk about them? Are we awesome? Are we idiots? I don't care.
Are we just two nostalgic old men who have missed the mark completely? As we typically do.
Highly possible.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it more than you could ever know.
Exactly. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Now go listen to some damn good music.